This is the most important video that I will ever record. And if there's going to be one video of mine that you will watch, it has to be this one. Because today I will be teaching you how to set up your New Year goals and how to actually execute them and become the best version of yourself. So if you want to improve yourself and if you want to achieve your goals, it's a must for you to watch it. It's going to be a long video, but it's going to be a full end-to-end guide on how to set your New Year goals and how to make it truly the best year ever. My name is Ira and welcome back to my channel. And today's video will be long and it will be complicated, but I hope it will add a lot of value to your life. And just as a disclaimer, I would like to mention to you guys that you don't have to start doing everything what I'm telling you from the very beginning. I'm going to give different complexities of how to set up your New Year goals. And if you're doing it for the first time in your life, go for a lighter version and scale up next year. Or if you're really committed to it, you can go right away with the full version of actions that I'm going to walk you through today. And trust me, you will not regret it, because I have been doing this for 4 years. And these 4 years have been the most productive and successful years of my life. And I have never been more determined and knowing what I'm doing with my life. So step number 1 is reflecting on the past year. It is one of the most important steps when actually setting up your New Year goals, because you need to keep yourself accountable and you need to be realistic with yourself. Where are you successful at the moment? Where are you not successful at the moment? And what were your wins and your losses of the year? And you need to evaluate, where do you currently stand in life? And do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel happy? What is the feeling that you currently have? This is the most important thing, because without a good baseline and a good study of what is happening actually currently in your life, you cannot set up your current goals. How to reflect on this? So, to reflect on the year, you actually need to ask yourself questions. Usually, I take a notebook. So, on this particular one, I have my reflections of 2023, 2024, and now I'm writing my 2025 reflection here. You need to write down those questions and answer every one of them. It will take time. Usually I take 1 week to reflect on my current year. However, if you can do it in a shorter amount of time, feel free to do so. Why I do it in a week? Because I am quite busy and I don't have time to sit like for 2 days and purely concentrate on one thing. So the first question you need to ask yourself, what were the top 5 happiest moments of the past year? We need to know what makes us happy and hopefully carry over those things to our next year. So it's very important to be grateful and reflect on the good moments. Next question is, what are small routines day to day that I have enjoyed in the past year? We also need to be able to carry over the small things on a day-to-day basis that we do in our life, to carry them over to the next year. So it's very important that you note them down. Next question is, what did I do for the very first time in the past year? So we need to be experiencing new things every year. It will contribute to our personality development. And to be honest, last year I realized that I haven't actually had many new experiences in my life. That's why I kind of wrote down things that I wanted to do in 2025 for the first time. And I started doing those things in this year, and it really brightened up my life. Next question is, top 3 things that I'm grateful for. We need to be very grateful for the things that we have and reflect on those as well. Then next question is top 3 life-changing experiences of previous year. And this is the one where usually I take some time to think, because not every year I have many life-changing events. Maybe if you cannot find something life-changing in this year, maybe you can write down something that changed the course of your year. So what is the life-changing year event happened? Next question, what are your personal highlights of the year? So just note down 1 or 2, the most important highlights. Next one is professional highlight of the year. So also 1 or 2, the most important things that have happened. The next questions that I'm going to mention now have to be a little bit deeper, and you need to write probably a couple of pages on those to reflect in depth. Question number 1, what are you grateful for? Again, gratitude is a core of successful person. We need to be grateful for what we had in the past in order to be blessed even more in the future. Next question, what were your magical moments? And really, you have to interpret magical moments by yourself, for yourself. For someone, magical moments is surprises, or maybe for somebody, it's the small routines that they have had in their day-to-day life. So identify, think about it. What are your magical moments, and reflect on those. Next question, what steps have you taken to maximize your well-being? And here you really need to reflect, what did you do to make yourself happier, healthier, more mentally stable? And it will also highlight those things to you, and you'll be able to make sure that you carry over those into your next year. Next question is, how have you moved closer to a major life goal in the past year? And all of us, we have our yearly goals and we have our life goals, right? So this is a good moment to reflect, actually, am I moving in the correct direction to achieve my life goals? Or did I not make any progress this year on that? And it's fine if you didn't make any progress, because you have many years to come to actually make that progress. But you need to know that you're not making any progress at the moment. And this is why reflecting on your past year is so important. Next question is, who has supported you and how? We need to be, again, grateful for the things that happen in our life, but also for the people who are there for us. And we need to make sure that we know who those people are and that we reach out for support to them. Next question is, what are your personal accomplishments? And here now we're not talking that, oh, I got promoted this year, or I made X amount of money. No, what did you do that makes you personally happy? Maybe it's working out 200 times per year, or maybe it's committing to walking 10,000 steps at least 300 days out of 360 days. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's changing a character trait that you didn't like in yourself. Please reflect on it. Next one is, what are your top life lessons of this year? Usually I write down top 5 lessons of the year, and really there are so many learnings that we have every single year. And maybe if you sit down at first and you try to write them down and nothing comes to your head, take your time, think about it, and come back to this question later. But definitely you have learned something this year and you need to reflect on it. Next question is, your top 5 career lessons. To be honest, each one of us has a career, has a job where we probably spend at least 8 hours per day, and we go to work probably 5 times per week. So our career is very important and it's a big chunk of our life. That's why I am recommending you to write down your life lessons, but also your career lessons. Next one is, what challenges did you face? And this is also a very good reflection point, because yeah, we need to know what challenges we have faced. We need to reflect how actually we have dealt with them. And maybe you didn't deal with your challenges well this year. I know I didn't. And something that I'm going to be writing down as a goal for next year is to deal with the challenges better. But again, I came to this conclusion only after reflecting on my year. Next question is, what are you leaving to leave behind? And I love this question because there's a lot of bad things that are happening in our life. There's a lot of trauma and drama that probably we need to leave behind. So reflect on that. Decide, what am I no longer carrying over to my next year? And trust me, it will make you feel so much happier and so much lighter. I know it's a lot, but we have more things. So the next one would be, what was my priority list of things to do in the past year? And it's also an important one because probably you did some goals planning at the beginning of the year, but maybe your priorities have shifted. So reflect on those new priorities and make sure that you know what you have been working on this year and see if this is something you need to carry over to next year or you need to stop it here. And that is pretty much it from the questions that I usually answer to reflect. I know it's a lot, but it's a very, very important baseline when you're starting and heading into the next year. If you're just starting off with year planning, maybe you don't need to go very in depth on each question, it's up to you, but try to answer each one of them because it will bring you a lot of value. Okay, so now we are done with reflecting on our past year. It is the time to start actually writing down your 5 and 10-year plan now. This is the next step to successful year planning. Some people like to plan on more short-term basis, so like 5 years, and some people like to plan on long-term basis, so it's really up to you. But the most important thing is that I want you to think how you want your life to look like. What do you want to achieve? And this is the first time in our year planning when we are actually starting to visualize and manifest. So please don't skip this step, because your yearly goals, they need to lead up to something bigger. They need to lead up to your 5-year goals or your 10-year goals, right? Because you're working towards something bigger. So you need to know what is that you're working towards, right? What is your big goal? And to make sure that you go detailed, and that you really explore everything you want to achieve in 5 or 10 years, I want you to write the plan based on different areas or spheres of your life. Let me tell you what are those areas. First area is health and well-being. Second is self-growth. Third is giving and contributing, so more of like charity topics. Number 4 is love and romance. Number 5 is relationships. So this is more related to work relationships and friendships. Number 6 is creativity and learning, because we always need to continue developing ourselves. Number 7 is spiritual. Number 8 is recreation, because we need to make sure that we rest. Number 9 is financial area. Number 10 is professional and career. And number 11 is travel and adventure. I know it's a lot of areas and spheres of life, but trust me, if you plan each one of them, even if it's bullet points, it will bring you a lot of value, because you clearly know what are you working towards, not only this year, but also in the years to come. And you need to review your 5 or 10-year plan every single year. So actually, my first 5 and 10-year-old years plan, I created in the end of 2022. And now every single year I rewrite it, and to be honest, majority of things are staying the same, but I do add some new things, mainly in the area of creativity and learning, and spiritual and recreation. The rest, more or less, is staying the same. Step number 3 is very much related to step number 2, but we are taking one step further. You need to describe best version of yourself. And this is not limited to 5 or 10 years. This is covering your entire lifetime. And here, please, don't block yourself. Think as openly as you can think, okay? And describe, what is my dream character? What is my dream appearance? What is my dream habits? My dream emotional state? Create a full vision of your perfect self. And I'm not saying that you need to achieve it. I'm not saying that you will ever achieve it. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe you will even create a bigger vision next year. But think about the perfect you, because this perfect you vision will help you also to set your goals for the next year. This will help you to understand the inner work that you need to do on yourself, and maybe also the outer work. And just be open-minded about this and really create the best version of yourself, at least on paper. And then once you write it down and you visualize it, you will be manifesting it. And already every day, the actions that you will be taking will take you closer to this dream version of yourself. Step number 4, and we're actually starting to write down our New Year goals. A lot of things we have done before, but all those things were important to lead us up to this moment. So at first, what I do is I reread the things that I wrote in step number 1, 2, or 3. And based on those things, I start to write down my dreams. And at first, I just dump everything on a big piece of paper. Every single little dream that can come to my head and my goal, I just note it down on the paper. Then I start to sort them and consolidate them, because maybe some goals look very similar to each other, so I just consolidate them in one. Then I start allocating those goals per area of my life. So the areas of my life are the ones that I have mentioned to you before, and you will see them on the screen now. So it's this health and well-being, self-growth, giving and contribution, and so on. And it's very important that you actually allocate all of your goals to a certain area of your life, because that will show you very clearly where is your focus at the moment. And also it will show you what are the areas of your life that you probably are not really concentrating on. And I would like you to make sure that you at least have one goal per area. Usually I have the least goals in recreation and giving and contribution. And I realized last year that I'm not really doing any charity work. I'm not really helping my community or my community back home. So I realized that actually I need to contribute to this world more and to give more, not only take. And then I also realized that I need to relax a little bit more and actually take more days off and do more recreational activities. So once you have dumped all of your ideas on a piece of paper, you have organized them per area of your life, and you made sure that you at least have one goal per area of your life, it's time to write them down. So usually, again, I take my main notebook, so this is a different one already. So in this one, I purely keep my goals for the year. So as you can see, this is my 2025 goals, and I start writing down my goal. So what I do is I put goal number and I write down the goal. Below it, I put the area to which it belongs. So for example, here I have goal number 20, to get promotion this year in a current department and in the current company where I work. And the focus area for this is career. And then I put the reason why I want it. This is not mandatory. So if you're just starting out to plan your goals for the first time ever, skip the step because it's going to be a lot of writing. But ideally, yeah, you want to have a why to every goal attached. Then I'm writing down actions that I'm going to take to achieve this goal. And this is another very, very important moment. So we are not only trying to plan the goals, we need to put a plan of how we are going to achieve it. So at least try to write down 3 to 5 or maybe even more actions that you are planning to take this year to achieve this goal. Because setting goals is amazing, but actually if you don't know how to achieve them and you don't know what actions you're going to take, most probably you're going to spend one more year not achieving the goal. So if there's 3 things that you need to write down about your goal is description of the goal, the area it belongs to, and your action items for it to achieve it. And then last but not least, and again, it's an optional one, is to write down the reward when you achieve a certain goal. I don't do it for every goal because then I would be getting so many rewards in my life, but I do try to write it down for the most major goals that I have. And this is it for our step number 4, where we were writing down our goals. Next step is my most favorite step, and it's vision boards. I have been obsessed with vision boards since I was a kid. My mom taught me how to do vision boards when I was maybe at around of age 10 to 12 years old. So for each goal, I print out a picture, and I just wanted to show you quickly my vision board. Actually, I don't have only one. I have one, and then I have also the second one. So this goal, this vision board is more for my personal goals, and this one is more about traveling and materialistic goals and so on. So what is important about putting together your vision board? You have to have at least one picture associated to the goal. So usually I go on Pinterest once all my goals are written down, and I select pictures accordingly. Then before putting the picture on the board, very important, and this is a very important manifesting and visualizing moment, you have to write down the goal at the back of your paper. Okay, so when it comes to trips and like, you know, buying some, I don't know, brandy things, I don't really do that. But on my second board, which is my personal board, my personal achievement board, I will really go and behind every picture write down what is the goal. So then I kind of like looking the picture and writing down the goal I manifested to come true. And it's very important, and it's going to take time to put together those boards, but I think it's a very, very fun process of New Year goals preparation. And then last but not least is executing goals. Again, guys, if you are going to plan all of your goals, it's amazing. It's good first step. But you need to make sure that you actually achieve them and that you actually execute them. So my biggest advice of this video is when you write down a goal, make sure that you actually reflect on it every single month. So how I do it is that I write down my goal. So I write down the description of the goal, the focus area, and why I want to achieve this goal, or this is an optional step, you can skip it. Then I write down the actions that I'm going to take to achieve this goal. And then every single month, in the end of the month, I sit down and I put January. And I put 1 or 2 sentences describing my progress to achieve this goal. And this is a very important checkpoint that will allow you to understand, am I moving in the correct direction or not? Because if you haven't done anything for the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 months towards this goal, it's fine. But at least you will know that you didn't do anything. At least you will not forget about this goal, because you will be rereading them every single month. And if you realize that, okay, this month I haven't done anything for it, last month I haven't done anything for it, then maybe actually I need to reprioritize this goal and make it more important, put it on my priority list for this month. Also, by rereading your goals every single month, you will make sure that you remember them and they will be sticking in your head. So maybe when you will have that 2 hours free on the weekend and you don't know what to do, you will think, oh, actually, I have that goal that I didn't really make any progress towards. Maybe I can take now this time to work on it. And yeah, guys, this reflection on monthly basis against each goal that you have is very, very important. And don't think that it takes a lot of time. No, it doesn't. It takes me literally 1 hour per month to reflect on my goals and my progress that I made towards the goal. Also, it's a good time to understand, is this goal still something that I'm pursuing, or maybe this goal is no longer valid for my life. Every year there is 1 or 2 goals that actually I remove from my list because either I have already achieved it, or the circumstances changed and I think that this is no longer my priority in life. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video was very useful for you. I hope you take it seriously, because really, guys, since I started my goals planning, I have been the happiest that I have ever been. Really, every single thing that I put on my vision board, that I put in my goals, comes true. Really, at least 90% of the things I have achieved. Maybe some of the goals I haven't fully achieved, but I made a substantial progress. So take this seriously and prepare for the new year. And I'm always rooting for you, and I wish you all the best in the new upcoming 2026. Thank you guys for watching as always, and see you next time.